little children, we are talking about another explorer. He is Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama is Portuguese, and if we are figuring out where we are in history, here is what's going on. The Portuguese have found a way around Africa. Remember, that is Diaz. The map says Africa ends. Sure enough, it does. Diaz is able to make it around it, but remember, his crew mutinied. They return, and Portugal doesn't seem to be in a big hurry to send out this other group, but Columbus has now gone west and says he has found Asia, so they are rushing. They have picked Vasco da Gama to be the leader. Now, we know that he has spent a career as a sailor. He has fought French pirates, so he should be a strong leader. This crew is not going to mutiny against him. So we have da Gama is going to be chosen for this trip, okay? And again, Diaz proves you can get around Africa. Another way of saying that is that the Atlantic Ocean and the Indian Ocean are connected. So you might see someone say it that way. It means the same thing, okay? So they are rushing now that Columbus says he has found India, and they are taking 170 men in 4 boats. Now, interestingly enough, we see Diaz pop up again in this. Diaz designs 2 of the boats so that they can travel long distances by ocean much easier. So let's take a look at the trip. Diaz actually accompanies da Gama, and they drop him off at the Portuguese trading post here, and they do the slingshot move. You can see that they come in here, and right in this general area is where they see the last marker that Diaz left. Okay, so remember, Diaz left those big stone markers. They kind of look like you might see these construction barrels, these orange barrels on the side of the highway, except they're not orange. This is made out of concrete, and it's saying, hey, I've been here, or Diaz was here. So he continues up the coast, and now he is into a new area. Remember, this is the modern-day Mozambique area where they speak Portuguese. And here is what he starts to notice. The farther he goes up the coast, the more advanced these Africans are. So that's a good sign, because that means he's probably getting closer to an advanced civilization. However, he runs into some trouble in this general area. Da Gama is pretty well traveled, and he understands Islam, the religion of Islam. And when he stops at this one place, he notices that the people are Islamic, aka Muslim. So he just pretends to be Muslim as well. And as he pretends to be Muslim, they're starting to become suspicious of him, and eventually they figure it out. Because this is a big problem that he's here, and you'll see why in just a moment. He continues north, but runners have spread word to the kingdom of Mombasa that, hey, we've got this guy over here that says he's Muslim. He shouldn't be here. And why shouldn't he be here? You'll see that very soon. He is starting to run low on supplies and food and stuff, and he's got to stop. So he stops at the neighboring kingdom of Malindi. Remember, he had to outrun Mombasa here. He is armed with cannons and stuff, so like they're no match for the power of his ship. But in great numbers, it doesn't matter if he has cannons or not. They can overtake him. So he stops at Malindi, and he actually finds friendship here. Malindi is Islamic. They're Muslim as well. However, they do not like Mombasa. They see how powerful his ships are, and they want to strike a friendship deal with him. So they make a deal that, hey, we can be friends. We'll do that. We might even change our religion. We don't know. It's a possibility. But let's be friends, and then you help us go against Mombasa if we have to fight them. So he has made friends in Malindi. Now, they are going to give him a pilot. We're not sure who this pilot is. We're not sure of his background, like his race, where he originally came from. But this guy has apparently been across this part of the ocean, you can see, and he has been to India. So they give him this pilot as a guide. But what they give him next is going to confuse him, and it's going to make his trip in India awful. What they give him are some Indian slaves. So this area has taken some slaves from India, and they basically say, hey, these people are from India, and do you want them? Yeah, we'll take them. And when they came aboard his ship, you got to remember, DaGama is Christian. He has a Christian statue of a cross. It has a dove on it. These people run up to that statue and they begin praying in front of it, and they say the words Krishna, Krishna, Krishna over and over again. Well, they are free. They used to be slaves. They know they've been released and free, and they think this statue is not a statue of a cross and a dove. They think it's one of their gods from India. When DaGama sees this, he thinks that they're Christian, that they're saying Krishna sounds like Christian. And this is going to confuse him because he's going to India thinking, oh, this is where Prester John is from. These people are Christian, Prester John. So he goes in with the assumption that he's getting ready to land in an area that's Christian. All right, so he makes it across the ocean and lands in Calicut. Now, the leader of this area is named Zamorin. When DaGama arrives, he has 3 ships. He lost one of them down here. It was damaged, so he's down to 3 ships, not 4 anymore. And he meets with this area, and he notices it's super rich. He notices that they chew this plant. It turns their teeth red, and when they spit, it's almost like tobacco. They're spitting in big gold vases. There's gold everywhere. There's something else that's super valuable as well, and that's spice. And they have a lot of it. This is everything that Christopher Columbus said was in Asia, okay? Remember, stuff is, if it comes through the Silk Road, even though it's kind of collapsed, it goes to this area, then goes north from there. So this is everything that Marco Polo has mentioned Asia would have. He sees wealth everywhere. However, Zamorin is upset with Vasco da Gama. The reason why he's upset, the tradition here is you bring him lots of gold and lots of great things. Da Gama just brought like a bunch of stuff from the dollar store. He didn't bring great stuff at all. All along Africa, those folks were willing to trade for that stuff. These people aren't. They value gold as well, and they want as much gold as they can get. And Zamorin is taken aback by this, saying, hey, you're not following our customs. We have to remember, DaGama thinks he's Christian. DaGama's like, you're not treating me well as a fellow Christian, and they're having a hard time communicating. However, one group of people see this, and they are thinking, oh my gosh, this is awful. And that group are the Arab traders. So you can see Arabia right here. They've been trading in India for some time. They take the goods that have come through the Silk Road or goods that have come through India. They take it up through here, and they trade it to the Italians in the Mediterranean. That's how they get it there. They know who the Portuguese are. They know who Christians are. They know who all this stuff is. And they think, oh, poop. We're getting ready to go out of business because they just made it around here. They don't need us anymore. They don't need to go through here. So they tell Zamorin, hey, that guy's a pirate. That's why he doesn't have good stuff. That's why he's got junk from the dollar store. You shouldn't trust him. Zamorin doesn't care. He's offended at DaGama, but he doesn't really care what the Arabs are telling him. DaGama sets up and tries to trade. He sends his people ashore, and they get like free samples at the booth, if you want to call it that DaGama has. A lot of the Arab traders go there and they like spit at him, and they don't like his stuff. They don't like him being there. They make fun of the junk he's brought to trade. And some of the Arab traders are able to convince Zamorin's palace guard that DaGama is in fact a pirate, and this guard arrests him. Okay, they trap him in like this warehouse. They won't let him go. Eventually, he is able to send a messenger to his ships, and those ships turn around and capture a whole bunch of people from India. And they say, we're not letting these people go unless you let our guy go. So eventually, DaGama is released. When he comes on board, Zamorin has found out what's happening. He did not give the palace guard permission to do this. He kind of sends an apology to DaGama. DaGama says, hey, we'll be back, and we'll bring a bunch of gold and stuff like that. And these traders, these Arab traders that are giving us problems, they better look out as well. So he goes north, and it's a rainy season here. He goes north, but he kind of circles back down and he heads back to Malindi. As he is heading home, something amazing happens. He is heading home. We have the navies of these Arab kingdoms are now chasing him. Okay, word has got back to them that we've got to not let this guy make it back. He cannot make it back to Portugal, because if he does, we go out of business. Everybody just goes around Africa and goes to India. They don't go through us anymore. This will be horrible for business. Don't let him escape. We have DaGama is now down to 2 boats because all of his people are mysteriously getting sick. They're getting sick everywhere. He doesn't even have enough people to run 3 boats. He is down to 2 boats. He is stopping on an island to make repairs, and then something weird happens. There is a guy on the island who is white. He is over here. He looks like DaGama. He walks up to DaGama and speaks to him in Portuguese. And DaGama's like, what's this? Who is this guy? Why is he in an island somewhere off the coast of Africa? And this guy tells him, hey, I was born in Poland. I'm Jewish. I was going to Jerusalem. I was taken captive and I was made a slave and I've escaped. Can you take me with you and I can help you? And DaGama immediately is very suspicious of him. He basically gets the truth out of him, and here's the truth. He is from that place. He's from Europe. He's a European. And he was taken as a slave, but he was working with these Arab traders. And he was put there to try to slow down DaGama. DaGama basically throws him on a boat and keeps going. He makes his way around here. His crew continues to get sick and get sick and get sick. He rounds Africa, and up here, DaGama's brother had went with him. His brother is horribly sick. DaGama is let off at some islands up here. They would be in this part of Africa. His 2 boats kind of creep in, separate from one another, and they make it back to Portugal. Takes 2 years. They make it back to Portugal, and when Portugal finds the 2 boats, eventually, they're not together, but they approach the dock, just in free samples. They have millions upon millions of dollars. So this is the proof. They have millions of dollars in spice. They have some gold. They have some other valuable things. And Portugal's like, hey, we made it to India. We made it to where Marco Polo said that there's a bunch of wealth. And then Portugal turned around and said, hey, Spain, where's your boy Columbus going? Because all he's bringing back is a bunch of rocks and people. Our guy just made it, and he's brought back millions of dollars. So this started to cast some doubt on Columbus. Like, where's Columbus going that there's not all of this wealth? DaGama will continue to make trips. He will actually end up dying. Gosh, I'm wanting to say the 3rd trip. Dies on the 3rd trip. And eventually his body is brought back to Portugal. I skipped this. I probably should have went to these slides when I told that story. Here is where he is buried. He's buried in a church. That's like the top of his casket. And if you look, here are where the Arab traders are from. And again, everything from the Silk Road and everything coming from India has to be funneled through here and then into Europe. With them being able to travel, Europeans being able to travel by sea, you don't need to run stuff through here anymore. In fact, it'd probably be quicker to go by the ocean. So that is the story of DaGama. He makes it to India by water. Hope you enjoyed the story.